from just outside the perimeter, and really just a tiny bit more outside the perimeter. Everybody's very close.
That's better.
Where
he's learning.
We played Chicago, and maybe Pineda has got to go.
Ooh.
It's gonna be that.
Here's the pulse. Here's the string. Let's just pluck.
It's gonna be that kind of show. It is the 5 Takes Podcast, and we are back.
We're back, baby.
Like I don't know, the Falcons making curious draft picks.
That's been the talk of the week, dude.
To draft their picks.
So picking a quarterback, a vax-denying quarterback picking a quarterback after spending $180 million on a vax-denying quarterback is certainly a choice. Receiver, edge rusher, maybe they confuse cornerback with quarterback. I don't know. The Falcons are, as one pundit on ESPN put it very eloquently, seem to value not being awful over trying to be great.
I saw that they were perfectly willing to win an already bad division.
Yeah.
Maybe make the playoffs. Maybe win a game and have a mediocre season so that they can recoup some of their monetary losses, but it's like, holy shit.
Because
even if that's true, sure. I feel bad for Michael Penix Jr.
I feel terrible for Penix because he seems like a great guy, seems talented, and hardworking, what you want. Yeah,
Washington
young guy,
was a
24 years old.
Team. But he's not young. He's not technically young. He's not that young. He's 24. Not 22. 24. He's not 21 even coming. He's not a junior or even a senior declaring out of the draft. He was a redshirt freshman and then transferred. Or sorry, a redshirt freshman and then transferred.
As an aging man, he seems quite young to me.
Oh, stop it. Glenn is dealing with his own mortality this week.
I had one of those unfortunate birthdays this past week. I don't like birthdays. I just felt like once you get past 21, when can you rent a car? 23, you can go fight for your country before you can rent a car. It's weird.
I think. Yeah.
What is there to celebrate? I can't do anything now as 41 that I couldn't do as 40. I can actually do less if we're really being honest.
Sometimes, depending on how you're back.
And this one over here, Kat called me on my birthday, which I wish she hadn't because I don't like it being recognized, but I appreciated the phone call. Thank you to everybody who didn't call me. I really appreciate it. I don't want to be reminded. I really appreciate that. Go to hell,
Jennifer,
Kat,
good job forgetting.
Good job, Jennifer. Bad job, Kat. She called me and just reminded me that it's worth celebrating, and I was very, very morose and just basically saying, what is there to celebrate? And Jennifer reminded me tonight before we hit the record button proper that I am alive, and that is in and of itself something worthy of
an accomplishment,
celebration. Because the alternative to
is
getting older,
death.
It's not great. It's not great.
Well, she was down. Well, that was. I was like, "What is it?"
Chat was like, "What is it? What's better than that?
What's the alternative?" Well, what's the alternative to like living life to its fullest and loving every moment that you're still on this planet? What's the alternative to that? Death? Yeah. Oh, great.
I'm glad that we're laughing and that we have some levity. This is going to be a bit of a tough show. Not a great result.
Glenn, I just need to point out for a hot second, right?
Go ahead.
That you're over there bitching about like how nobody's, you don't want calls on your birthday. You don't want anybody to recognize it, whatever. You and I have the same birthday.
I know.
And you didn't bother to wish me a happy birthday.
Because I knew you would just want you back. Like, I just would rather we all just forget that we're aging.
Selfish son of a bitch. That's what it is. Happy birthday, Jennifer.
Cheers.
Thank you.
To your health. Yeah, but the thing between Jennifer and I, not to get too off track,
we never do that.
She doesn't age. Like her family, nobody in her family does, and anyhow.
It's true. Jennifer is the Paul Rudd of this podcast.
Aging because I had like all this like salt and pepper silver coming in my hair,
great.
like really nice shiny silver. So I just leaned into it.
I'm telling y'all, if you're not
some more
watching the
silver
video
in my
version
hair.
that we've got going out, boy, are you missing out. Let me tell you, stunning. What a looker. All right. So, yeah, levity. It's nice. It's nice to laugh. The mediocrity thing, we're dealing with that as well with United, not just with the Falcons. Even though, admittedly, as a Chelsea fan, bite your arm off for mediocrity.
That's true.
Good grief, man! 5-0 to Arsenal. Whatever.
At least we showed up for Arsenal.
You did, and you nearly had it too. You gave them something. You gave them something to think about.
And Liverpool in the first half of the season should have had them too. We did have them.
True.
True. Like we did, and it just.
But just like every year, if you don't rock up to festive fixtures with a 10-point gap on City, forget about it, because you just know what's going to happen. You know what they're going to do.
And it's not just everybody, and Arsenal too. That's the thing. Arsenal had opportunities during festive fixtures to really get a bunch of points up on City.
Need a gap.
While City was losing and doing draws, and
if you don't,
they didn't step up either. So
ain't gonna happen.
What's really gonna it's interesting because with Jurgen Klopp leaving and with just the really poor showings that Liverpool's had in our last like 6 or 7 matches, it's just not been good. I knew I honestly kind of knew when we drew the FA Cup and then ended up losing it, like that game to Manchester United, I kind of felt like something was changing, like the winds were shifting and things were not going to go our way. I kind of started feeling that, and then it happened again, and then we exited Europa, and then it was like things are just this is not going well. But so us not getting the title, we knew it was going to be really fucking tight when back during festive fixtures we didn't get those points, right?
Yeah.
The real losers of not winning the title this year is going to be Arsenal, not Liverpool.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are going to be kicking themselves in the fucking teeth for letting it get away from them again. Mm-hmm. And, what was it just last year or the season before we thought Arsenal was going to go down? Jeez.
It wasn't all that long ago when fans were calling for Mikel's head when they lost like 3-4 straight to start out the season, and they've come a long way.
Weren't they in like 14th?
They did the right thing with their coach, holding on to him. What are we gonna do? That's how I'm segueing us back to United. Ooh. It's an interesting question. There's valid criticisms, and we're going to get into it. I'm not so interested in just blame it all on Pineda or Pineda out. But there are things and there are questions that generate real discussion and that he has to expect at this point. It's his last year of his contract. We have an option year. It's not going particularly well. We are seeing some patterns of this again.
Yeah.
And we can
patterns
talk about
of problems.
That. Because it is real.
It's interesting because I think there were bad habits we had last season, right? Like really bad habits, like that we fixed, that we have fixed, but now we seem to be mired in the same can't get over the humpedness. Yeah. Is that a word? Like
no, but it is now.
Add humpedness to Webster's. That's in for sure.
I just if it's so frustrating match after match to watch
right there
the opportunity we had to do what Liverpool should have done and bank a bunch of points in the easier stretch of our schedule.
Bank them now.
Because it is not, from here on out, it is not getting any better.
Nope.
We're going to have fixture congestion. We've got international break, but then we've also got Europa Cup and Copa and the Olympics, and we are going to be, that's why, I don't feel like this whole idea of losing people on the roster is a valid excuse. We knew coming into this season with the roster that we had, we were going to be playing some roster roulette. And I think,
it's true,
at least from the perspective of who we've signed.
And that's why we focused on depth, right?
Yep.
And we did a good job. We have, but we knew it's coming.
We knew it was coming. So no, is it helpful that we have 5 or 6 injuries? No, but if you look at every other team in this league, it's a walking wounded show. That's just the nature of the league that we're in. It is a physical league. It beats people up, chews them, and spits them out.
Yeah.
Every team, very few teams in this league are not down at least 2 players at this point in time to some sort of injury. Yeah. I'm not going to go through the whole availability report again like I did last week, where there were like, I think 2 teams fielding their entire roster. Right. Having the whole roster at their disposal for choice. But like, everybody in the league is dealing with this. And why should, at that point in time, it's not, we should be able to plug and play. And we're just not doing it. And I don't know what it's, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. We had I asked Glenn, he asked me for my prediction. And I said, do we have a mostly ideal starting 11? And he said, not really. But the 11 that we did field last night weren't bad. Was not a bad 11.
We're missing
who we stuck out there.
We're missing 3-4 people. I mean, that's significant. That's a third.
Well, it is, but the amount of talent that what my point being is that the amount of talent that we put on the field last night.
I agree. We should still be able to find
where we are missing the players in the back wasn't the problem.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's fair.
The starting players that are at the front,
that's fair,
that can't find the back of the net were the problem.
And so we're only missing one of those.
This is kind of what I'm saying.
And the one we're missing in Xande maybe hasn't been that outstanding anyhow.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Are we missing? Yeah. It's not like when we're missing Gigi, because Gigi has been a serious producer.
Yeah.
And Saba can produce. We know he can. Tiago can produce. I mean, I said can.
Do we want to get into that now, or are
I
we
said
hold
can.
Let's hold
I said can. I didn't say has been. I said can.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. The amount of players and the amount of talent that we put on the field last night was not the problem. We were not the people that should have been in charge of scoring the goals last night weren't injured, and they weren't out. They weren't sick.
Like Jennifer was saying, injuries are a fact of this league, especially in leagues across the world. It's a fact of life. Shoot, I'll take this time to segue injuries into Mason Mill. Yeah, sure, why not?
Absolutely.
And just as much as they're a factor of this league and a factor of life, if you find yourself injured, or better yet, before you get injured.
A way to stay uninjured.
A way to stay uninjured before you even get injured. Go take care of yourself. It's all about preventative care, so that you don't have to go to physical therapy for months on end, or surgery, and all these things that come with successive birthdays. Right? You can try to avoid that. Fight, rage against the dying light. Fight back against aging. You can do part of that, one thing for your health, by making chiropractic care a regular part of your overall health on top of everything else you should do. Go see Mason Mill. Their phone number is 404-321-0082. We, being me and Kat, have been going there for, my God, 10 plus years now. And it is, despite all the injuries and things that we still suffer from, we'd be exponentially worse off if we didn't take care of our bodies and we weren't regular clients of Mason Mill. I shudder to think what it would have been like for me if I hadn't. So much love to them, not just for, supporting us in the pod, but just for supporting our bodies. Let them help you out as well. I promise you guys. Go there. And please mention us when you go there and pick up some new stickers. I dropped them off over at Mason Mill. They've got 2 varieties there. So go get an appointment and get you a sticker while you're there. Decatur, McConnell Mill Drive. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Saturday hours, particularly clutch. They are very good. You will really enjoy Dr. Cohen and Dr. Freezy. They'll make you feel like family. Alrighty. So, Loki, let's start that off. Loki, man of the match? Take it. Who wants it?
Ooh, well, I think, I'll go ahead and take it, because I think most people agreed with me that while he, wasn't able to sink himself a debut goal or anything like that, but Efren Morales, it was fucking close, man. So everything about last night was so close. so
been
close
with the club
and yet
since
so
he's
far.
been 11.
I know. He was so cute.
Why? Just let him have the goal.
I know. It just doesn't seem
like the
fair.
soccer gods are so cruel. They're so petty.
They really are.
Why? What's he ever done? The kid gets thrown in.
Yeah.
Hey, start 3 hours heads up.
Yeah.
Ain't never had a minute in MLS.
Yep.
On the road.
But look how well he did, though.
He did great.
He proved himself. He certainly proved himself.
I believe 92.9 gave him man of the match.
Straight up man of the match, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair, too.
Okay.
Low-key, I think he fits that really well because, not showing up on the stat. He would have been if he had scored that for sure. But he didn't really put a foot wrong. Intercepted a couple balls, couple good tackles. He looked really composed out there. I saw him communicating,
composed.
Chatting it up.
Composed. He never really looked flustered.
No.
And he was in charge of, he marked his man. I saw a couple times, maybe just once or twice early on, like maybe honestly in the first 20 minutes, he kind of, I found that he was I watched how he kind of,
so did everybody else. As
he was tracking back, I think he was double positioning, like he was covering the same position as someone else. But I think he found him. I think he was like, "Oh no, I'm not supposed to be there. I'm supposed to be over here," and immediately corrected and moved towards the ball.
Very observing. I want to see that. I want to see a player taking in the game, analyzing the game in real time.
And he did. So I think that apart from not having an obvious goal scorer as the man of the match, low key or not, I mean, I just think the kid did a great job. I think he may have earned himself some more opportunities.
Yeah,
I hope he did.
Totally.
If Noah Cobb's going to have a lasting illness or something,
yeah,
I think he's a heck of an option.
I'm exactly in agreement with you. He gets low key for me as well. Yeah. Jennifer, who you got? You going with Efrain as well?
I am not actually. I am gonna throw that before we throw Pineda under the bus. I'm gonna throw this on I'm gonna throw the low key man of the match on our defensive coordinating team. So that I'm not sure between all the coaches between Velazon or Rob Valentino or Diego De La Torre. I don't know who's responsible for the defense, but our defense this season has manned the fuck up. Okay. And it doesn't seem to matter whether we're throwing 20-year-old rookies out there or 27-year-old veterans. It's we're down to our, number 7 on the depth chart center back right now.
Yeah.
And defensively, we are still in every statistical category top 10 in the league.
Is that something positive you're taking away from all the lack of results, the injuries, is that we've explored center back, and my God, are we deep, because it really has been next man up mentality at that position. I mean, it's been crazy. Like Derek Williams, okay, suddenly he's vital. Where'd that come from? Okay, he goes down. Noah Cobb, no problem. He goes down. Efrain steps in, no problem. Luis Abraham slots in, no problem. Ronald Hernandez didn't, but he's also not a center back.
He's not a center back, and I think those were very egregious, extenuating circumstances. That is the one circumstance where I will give them a pass, because to have to come out of a locker room, as the players are walking down the tunnel and be told, oh, hey, by the way, your active center back can't start now. And what are you going to do?
And I think you wanted to make the point that a couple people have said, curious that Pineda felt comfortable starting Efrain in this match, starting him, but didn't have him, didn't go to him as a sub in the last game, but felt comfortable starting him in this one. And trying to square that. And I think that's fair. When you think about that, you're like, that's a bit curious, but your take on that.
I think there's a vast gulf of difference between having 3 hours notice and having 30 seconds notice.
Sure.
That's where I sit on that. It's if you have a minute's notice, the player hasn't warmed up, right? He hadn't even been warming up. He was not even jogging on the side of the net.
He was not coming into this match.
No,
it's a bit different. And it's still short notice, but it is different.
It's a whole different mind. It's a whole different mindset.
So even given 3 hours, he was able to get his mind right and say, "I'm gonna go fucking play." And he went.
I think it worked. He played well, man. He played great.
Well, and I honestly think if they had known at the beginning of halftime that Noah Cobb was not going to be able to continue, they would have put him out there.
Maybe so.
I think the only reason it was everything that Pineda said after the match, I think the only reason that it was Hernandez and not Morales is because of absolutely no notice. And, look, you can say what you want about Hernandez. The guy works hard in training. He steps up. He has done his job for this team. And you need the guys that are the glue like that can be like, okay, I'll put on whatever hat. Maybe it would have made more sense to do, Dax in that position.
I want to see more of him. We'll talk about that.
We're going to talk.
That's another very, very valid
suggestion.
Sure
again, I feel like going with a veteran at that point in time to be able to turn on the switch immediately. Not that it worked out in any great capacity, but the idea in theory wasn't wrong.
Okay.
Even though he's not, I think that's the difference here. And I think, you can't expect a kid who's, and you're also not talking about just a rookie. You're talking about literally
a kid. Yeah, I got you.
I
got you.
That's the difference here.
11-0 Mr. Senior also went with Ephraim for low-key man of the match. Thanks for that submission. Thanks for all the submissions and the takes and all the interaction, guys. We appreciate it. And Amy Anna Marie went with my low-key from last week as the post. She also says that we can't buy a goal. She points out that yet again, not excuses, but it is an observable fact that we face another goalkeeper just having a night.
Yeah. There were
3 world-class saves, fingertips, reactions, great saves.
Yeah. And the post. But that's still like I kind of was like I gave my own take. This wasn't something that Glenn and I sat down and wrote out together, but my take was just the lack of being able to finish a chance. And listen, there were some really excellent chances, including that very, very last one by Rios. That was an excellent looking, the everything leading up to it, the movement, everything was good. But then that last final second, the keeper kept it out. It was a great save. What I just keep referring back to Jennifer's excellent take from, I feel like it was last summer, which is champions score those goals. Those goals go in to the ones who make it, deep into the playoffs. We're going to look back and we're going to say all those chances, all those times that we hit the post, or all those times that the keeper stood on his head, those goals had gone in, we'd be at the top of the table.
On the champions thing, it was something that Jack Stat Attack brought up 2 weeks ago about the mentality, top to bottom, across the club, groundskeeper to players.
Yeah.
There was something that kind of concerned me, and it really shouldn't be a point of concern. Like, social media posts shouldn't be a concern, but it got me thinking when we posted, by we, I mean the club's social media manager, and I'm not attacking social media. Don't start adding the admin. They have nothing to do with any of this. But where they said +1 coming back to Atlanta. It's not. It's -2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the mentality I want everyone to have.
Yeah,
top to bottom.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Good.
On the road, it's difficult. You get a point. It's not good enough.
Dude, a 0-0, I was telling somebody about that today.
Say that from everyone. I want everybody on the same page. We ain't happy with that. It ain't +1. It's -2.
We can't be satisfied. Yeah, we cannot be satisfied with a plus.
It's okay
a 0-0 +1 though, because I mean, come on.
So what I'm saying is I blame social media admin for the lack of result. That's what I'm trying to say. Emilio Corsi thought that
Emilio Corsi. I just
thought Morales and Schliesch couldn't really choose between the two of them. That's totally fine. Schliesch is doing his thing, man, week to week.
Oh, he's doing fabulous.
The heat map is the whole field. Like, that's a proper box to box.
Yeah. No, man.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
He is doing everything and then some that we ever asked of, like wanting a six pack
and he also Emilio.
My God, can we make it happen because we finally have like the 6 that we deserve?
Emilio also brings this up. Yeah, we do have the 6 we deserve, man. Before we move into the takes, and we were talking about this.
Yep.
The injuries are a factor, but it's statistically impossible to just stay healthy throughout the whole year. And we also just can't continually turn over the roster year over year. So at some point, it is going to kind of come down to what can we get out of this depth that we have. I get it, the inconsistency week to week. But we all agree this, if you wanted a year with good depth, this is it. This is the year.
With all, Inter Miami kind of aside, and we can talk about them for a hot sec,
Sure.
but like, within the constructs of what you can do under the cap restrictions of MLS.
Yeah.
It's on paper, it's hard pressed to construct a team with better depth than what we have, unless you have people that are very much outperforming their metrics, right? Which can happen, right? Like that absolutely can happen. I'm not discounting it, but you look at what Miami is managing to do with a bunch of schedule fixture congestion, having had a lot of injuries to very, very key players. And I'm not, I know you hate to say it. Look, the man is a thing of beauty. We all know that Messi is here, and like the rest of the world is here. Right?
It's an advantage to have the greatest player of all time on your team.
Yeah, I'm not, but they're also not going to have the greatest player of all time for the entire season, and they know it.
But they're taking care of their business now. They're getting those points now, and that's the difference between these two teams.
Exactly. So when Messi goes away for Copa,
they're gonna be okay,
or when
they pad it.
Yeah, or Messi has to take a couple of weeks
and
off,
we ain't gonna be okay. No. We're gonna have to dig in and find ways, because we didn't do it now. We dropped easy points.
Yeah. Because we're now going to have to do it against teams that are on paper or on the standings where it matters better than us.
Yeah, they are better.
All right, let's dive into some takes. Well, we finally went to the left. Finally. Points for trying. Nothing really threatening came of it. Granted, we were missing Xande, but like we were saying, he hasn't been that great in the minutes that he's had. Not the level he was when he first came in. Just no real attacking threats down that side, and
it looked a little lost. Yeah. It just looked a little lost. I'm a little bit puzzled why they did that.
It was deliberate though, right? Like clearly we were saying we're going left.
Yeah.
We're going left.
We've had so much potential, and I feel like so much better movement down the right. Why would we pick
I'm okay with going to left. I just wish we had a little more, like, clearly the players were instructed to do that, but the players on the pitch got to take a little bit of control too. Say, okay, yep, we want to exploit that, but it's not working, and Brooks is over here waving. Let's do that as well. You know what I mean?
Why everything went to the left? I'm going to tell you one reason why everything went to the left, and you're welcome, Leanne Walker, because Andrew Goatman was back on the pitch last night, and he was giving the right side.
That's also true.
Of defensive fix.
Yeah, it wasn't just, hey, let's go left. There were reasons for it.
No.
And the Goatman was out there.
You weren't going to get through. Brooks and Andrew had a pretty decent battle going on.
And not that we're here to compliment fire players, but former 5-striper, once a 5-stripe, always a 5-stripe, and he bled for this club. He gave everything.
You knew it.
So,
and you knew he wanted to show up against his old squad that moved him out to the hell that was Colorado.
In your parlance, snaps to Gutman, because the guy has only played 5 minutes this whole season. And he comes in and puts in a shift like that, but that's Gutman. Did it here?
Yeah, he looked like he'd been playing all season.
Did it at Colorado in his brief time there?
Yeah, he was tasked with keeping up with both with Brooks and Saba, and
the guy works.
He did it. He did it.
Yeah, and he did it. Yeah,
he did it
fair.
fine.
I'm gonna open this up for general discussion, but I think. And because he's capable of doing it, I think maybe next match, I would love to see Saba down the left instead of Saba starting on the right. Because I think his speed can make, not that Caleb has been weak or whatever. We got to do something to mix it up.
So then who's going, you want to put Mascara on the right? You want to put Tyler Wolf?
Put whoever that, Tyler Wolf, whatever combination of that wing that doesn't do anything right now, put them on the right and give them the better balls to work with that Brooks is going to deliver, because Brooks's accuracy is a lot better than Wiley in terms of out of the breakout and getting into somebody's run.
As long as Xande isn't available, we try something like that.
I think even if Xande is available, we got to try something like that, because nothing we're doing right now is working. Fair. We can't buy a goal.
No, we can't, man. And there were some for sale last night.
I mean, it was like being at
quite a few times.
It was an everything's $1 yard sale yesterday, and we couldn't literally walk up to the cash register and hand them $1.
Yeah, XG is over 1.5, no goals.
I really liked Mayumba's chance, though. Did you see that one?
He's had a few good chances
in the first half.
Shouts to him this season. I
That
think
was
he's been
he
tremendous.
was almost my low key. Like if I had to actually pick man of the match, I'd go with Efren, and then do low key would be Mayumba for me.
Okay.
Because I still think he's still filling a hole that we desperately needed. That I do think a lot of times he is low key. I really liked the way he dribbled into the box. He was getting pushed down, and he still took the shot, and it was still a good shot. It didn't miss by much.
No, it did not.
And it was. I like that. I like the idea. He's kind of like, if you've watched Liverpool at all this week, he's not quite a McAllister, but he's kind of a Szoboszlai in that he has the ability to shoot from distance if you give him the opportunity. It's like, well, go ahead, maybe take it. He's like like Jordan Henderson. He could take it from outside. He has the ability. Yeah. He's just, that's not been his job. That's not what we've been asking him to do. So I like that he at least when he had the opportunity, he took a shot and it was a good shot. That's so.
I just think we have to. At this point in time, something has to shift tactically.
What
to get the offense go? I don't know. That's why I'm saying throw Saba out on the left because he can play. He can play either side. And if you want to talk about what we need in the upcoming July transfer window, especially if there's going to be an increase or any changes in cap, we need another freaking winger.
Well, we got ourselves a slot open now. A little cap space, not a ton. Because did phenomenal business with Toronto. I know we still hold a large portion of Etienne's cap, but just to unload him anywhere
without having to buy him out. Without having to buy him out.
Pretty good business. He just didn't work here, and we don't need to denigrate the man any further. It just didn't work. If it works at Toronto, great for him. Yeah, just didn't happen.
No,
but
we're not.
But that's good. And
we have a little more. We need the money.
We have a little more flexibility to do some business this summer. That could be good. Question for both of you: where have all the free kicks gone? Like where? Like seriously, we used to be somewhat productive.
You know what this is?
We were like the best team in the league last year on set pieces by a wide margin.
Which was odd because it was new to us.
Yeah, but we're getting nothing, and we have two.
We've never been known as a free kick team, and then holy crap! All of a sudden, we were the free kick kings, and now we're down to
we have
we
two
can't do it anymore.
Excellent servers of the ball on both sides.
Yeah,
and we're getting nothing from these like high chance situations. Like you're near goal, and you're allowed to kick the ball near the goal. We can't do more with that.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. What are we doing with these short free kick trick play things? Just kick the ball in the box and put it in a dangerous place.
They seem not fully executed, fleshed out, just kind of weird.
But we were doing so well just taking a regular average sized free kick, and we had two people over 6'5" last night in the box.
We have even more size in the box
now.
Well,
6'3".
We're just not getting anything from it.
Because Stian Gregerson is huge.
Right. Efren's tall.
Should be back next
tall.
week. He was on the bench. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. We should have him back next week.
That's excellent.
But either way, like he's good in the air. Ephraim is good in the air.
Yorgos obviously is a god in the air.
You have the Saba's good in the air. You've got all these players that are good.
And we're just not doing much with them.
I just don't understand the trick play. I don't
like
why.
Number one, I feel like we're not getting as many like foul free kicks, not corners, right? I feel like we're drawing a decent amount of corners, but I don't feel like we're getting free kicks as many
like out in the field, in the run of play free kicks.
Better Thiago ranges.
He still had two. He still had two last night and two opportunities. It's just there.
Well, maybe we're not having the ball at our feet a whole lot.
A really bad angle
around the 18 as much as we were last year.
And I think that speaks to the fundamental rule of ball, of sport that has to put balls in nets, right? You have to actually put the ball on the net to create the scoring chances. We are still doing that tricky thing of, I got to find the right shot. No, just throw the damn ball at the net.
Right.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Throw the ball at the net.
Yeah.
Create some chaos.
Ask a question about Thiago too?
Sure. Because
this is something I don't really understand. When I look at the stature of Thiago, who does he remind you of, Glenn?
We've
made this comparison before.
I forget who.
Physically, he reminds me of Barco.
Oh,
okay.
They're
They're physically very similar.
Yeah.
They're
know if you were
not
going
not
something
very
else,
very
just the
no.
stature. Okay.
They're not very tall.
Perfect.
They're not very weighty. They're
Yeah.
skippy. They're skippy with the ball. You know,
Yeah.
they're whatever. Thiago, in my opinion, worlds apart as far as his ability to dribble. But what I don't understand, and because Barco did this too, you get to where you're maybe 5 or 6 yards away from the top of the box.
Mm-hmm.
You're dribbling and you're doing great. You're pushing forward, but then you dribble into 3 people. You dribble into traffic, and that traffic is 3 people that are converging onto you. Let me finish asking the question.
Are our own players too, and
no, but that's not what I was. That's not what I was talking about. And I'm watching last night, and I know, but I'm watching last night. He's dribbling, he's doing great, but then he dribbles into 3 opposing players.
Well,
and undoubtedly because of his stature, the ball gets taken off of him.
Well,
I watch him do it all the time, and Barco did it endlessly. Sometimes he does, and that's the thing, is that when he chooses to kind of like really get even more fancy footwork, or when he chooses to, he sees that pressure coming and then he's able to pass. Yeah. But I don't know why, and Barco did it endlessly. It was so frustrating. He just dribbled right into 6 people. I'm like, do you not see them coming? You are tiny. All they're going to do is run into you. You're going to fall over, and now they've got a counterattack. And that happened twice last night. So they didn't score, luckily.
I want to answer your questions, Kat, because I think I have answers.
Okay.
Also, a
Kat. Keep her away from your camera.
Yeah, Kat, get away from the camera. Say, hi, Mom.
Is your cat named Kat?
No, my cat's named Moxie.
Okay.
Hi, Moxie.
Because you kept saying cat, but like keep the cat away from the camera.
Yes.
Well, you know, like the great movie Breakfast at Tiffany's, I still call my cat like all the time, just because, you know, that's what she called the cat in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Anywho,
yes.
To answer your question,
tell me.
They're 2 vastly different players that wanted to be exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Barco wanted to be what Thiago is.
Sure.
The problem is Barco did not and never has had, and I don't think he ever will have, the actual skill on the ball that Thiago has.
Agreed. Right? Totally
and
agreed. I just don't know why they dribble into traffic.
Well, because what Barco's trying to do is draw that coverage and then magically weave the ball with his prowess of ball handling with his feet.
Barco or Thiago? Because you said Barco.
Thiago. Sorry.
Thiago. Okay. No, that's fine. It's just fine.
Then kick it out to a winger or kick it out to somebody while he's got 3 people on him, because now he's created space for his attacking players.
Okay.
That's what his job is supposed to do. The difference between him and Barco is what would happen when Barco would get in those situations is someone would blow on Barco and he'd fall down.
True.
And then spend, 5 seconds rolling around on the ground begging for a call that was never going to come. Thiago doesn't go down easily. That's the big difference, is Thiago can actually keep his feet on the ball and in many, many cases get the ball out to the wing or get the ball out to the fullback while he's got that drawn coverage on him, which in theory should free up other offensive players to go for
Are y'all noticing when he's got the ball, though, like, and he's dribbling, right? Ball at his feet, around the 18.
Yeah.
He's dribbling into our own players. There's a lot of that happening.
Happens,
like, we're stacked.
Too. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that.
There's
no way. That should be more of a fundamental thing and not so much something that needs to be drilled into players coaching-wise to not do that. Maybe it does. That's a bit odd and problematic. Like, there's these... When I say short passes, I'm not talking... Like, yeah, short passes are good. Maybe more than 6 inches. Like, we're you know what I'm saying? It's that's happening as well.
Well, I think you should have one player there as a backup in case you lose the ball to get the ball back in a dangerous area, right? But it shouldn't be multiple.
That's my issue.
There shouldn't be more than I see what you're saying. But I was trying to I think in theory that is what Barco is trying to do.
Literally like dribbling on top of each other.
Yeah, and it works, and it does actually work for him more often than not. Okay. The problem is we're opening up. Like, we had the XG was 1.5, but I can think of at least 7 or 8 high, and I mean really high quality shots.
Yeah. Hey.
Yesterday that
I can think of
not Barco. God damn it.
Sorry.
That Thiago created like 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about those shots. Those high quality shots, right? When did they come? This is your pet peeve, Jennifer. Last 25 minutes. 5 shots on goal, all of them then. All of them.
I think the goal that was called back that was offside was in like the 23rd.
Fair enough for that offside
and the Mayumba try and one of Saba's tries that they didn't call a corner. The one that I actually saw Pineda getting actually really, really upset about, where it was a Saba try. It was actually a keeper save. He did
absolutely, and they didn't call a corner.
They didn't get a corner.
Yeah, okay,
so
those
three were in the first.
Those were in the
but
later
still, like
30s,
our best chances,
they were in the last.
Our high quality, like wow, we're going now, happened in the last 25 minutes. We are still that team. We are still that team that takes incredibly long to really get going and take control of a match. Why? Clearly, it can't be a player problem. Clearly, we can do it because we did it in the last 20, 25 minutes. So it can't be down to the players because the players did it later. Too late.
If I have to hear
we should be able to replicate that over
if I have to hear the announcing team and Jason and Mike say, the key to this match is a fast start. One more time. Say it. Call me dwarf. One more time.
Say what again?
Say what?
Say what again? What?
It's interesting though, because maddening. I actually kind of, maybe it was because it was isolated, but I kind of felt like there were certain people that did come out fast, and I think that one of them may have been Efren Morales. And it's because the guy has so much energy because it was his first opportunity to play. Maybe. Oh
man, that adrenaline is just pumping.
And Schließ was kind of all over the place as Schließ does.
Yeah, there's no real drop off with
it.
Him.
It didn't.
But I'm just as a whole team. As a whole team,
I think, and look, I think I can see in what he's saying to the press and things like Gigi is getting visibly like really, really pissed off at the whole situation. An angry Gigi is really good for us and not good for the league. But I think what needs to happen here is, they're going into these matches with these game plans, and I get that they want to be defensively responsible. They want to be mentally checked in and not make the stupid mistakes.
Which we didn't make this match, and that's a positive.
No, we didn't make them. But now we have to find the balance of going out and just not thinking about it, right? Like being able to, where this is the part we talked about this. I talk about muscle memory all the time. Like these guys know how to go out and play soccer. They know how to go out and win. They know how to go out and score. For God's sakes, it's like, stop thinking about it. I used to say this about PT all the damn time. It's like, stop, please, when you get in those ruts, you've got to just turn the brain off and let your body do the work that it has trained itself to do for the last 20 years of your life.
I don't know. I think we made a couple of pretty poor choices at different times, though, last night, too, with the way that the balls were being crossed and the decisions that are being made on where you feed the ball to
we
whom.
Got a little too cute with things at times. Like, why are we doing a back heel pass in this moment?
Like, I don't know how many times I saw Saba or Gigi putting their hands and just going, here, I'm right here. Like Wolf took 2 or 3 shots in his own right, and you've got Saba and Gigi both
I hear you.
going, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm right here. I am by myself in front of goal. You've got 6 people around you. Why are you taking a shot that didn't have a chance in fucking hell? It was always rising. Like, you could see him. He's going. He's visibly upset. He's rubbing his really pretty hair, and I just, it's a poor choice.
Wait. Did you just say Saba had really pretty hair?
No, I said Tyler Wolf has really pretty hair.
Oh, okay.
He does have really pretty
and
hair.
I've seen it in person.
He does have really pretty hair.
He does have really great hair.
So it's, he's rubbing his hair, just kind of like understanding that he's like, yeah, that was a poor choice, and that's okay to make one. But when we make 5, and every time you've got our lead striker going, I'm right here.
So I think it's about like
we've got 5 or 6 goals. Don't pass it to Gigi. If he's right there.
What this team is lacking is that, magical combination of being mentally switched on, but also just letting the game happen. And I think
that's tough.
And I think they're too scared of making those brain fart mistakes and letting it get away from them to allow the creative freedom that they need to find their.
So we're forcing it. We're trying to force it.
It all started with Philly. Like, I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
We see that game out. Even just a win doesn't have to be a clean sheet.
Yeah.
And you stop thinking about it. You do just trust yourself more. It snowballed. We wish it hadn't.
Right.
It did, because we just don't look in sync. This is like number 5. Yeah, we'll go back to 3 in a second. Yeah. But I'm talking just as a team. We don't look in sync, especially when it comes to the press. It just looks like individuals performing, in that we don't kind of know what the triggers are and when to go. I'm full credit to Schlise and Dax, who I think we all want to see more of. Yes.
More Dax McCarty, please.
More of that energy.
Which I never thought I'd say, but I do. It's kind of like when I said I never thought I'd say, where did Dom Dwyer go? You know, I liked him. I liked having him around.
No, like
he just got a new club.
I know.
Where is he going? Oakland Roots.
Oakland Roots. I was going to say somewhere on the West Coast.
Here we go. Fabrizio
Romano.
It's just,
but I'm just saying, I never thought I'd say that either, you know, and I did. I liked his energy when he was here. I hated it when it was in Orlando, but I liked it when it was here.
Yeah, more Dax, please.
Yeah, let's have some veteran presence on the field.
But it has to be more than individual efforts that we talked about. It is that that whole team approach, and it's not together, and I get it. It's continuity changes week to week, makes it difficult.
I'm tired.
I want to agree with you.
I got about this much more patience.
That's really, I think, the one area where having this center back roulette makes it much harder. And I think once we get into some sort of regular center back rhythm, whether 3 matches with the same center back pair, that would be cool. I kind of don't care which center back pair we have at this point in time. It could be Gregerson and Abram. It could be Williams and they all work, but I need them to all stay together. I need two of them.
Week to week.
And I think that will fix the issues on the counter, because right now they're too busy communicating with themselves.
Yeah, they're too worried about their primary job. I understand.
Exactly. To work on getting it forward out of the back.
That's totally fair. Last point, and maybe I have this wrong, looking back on the match. Do we still look shaky? Like really shaky and dead ball situation, resets of play? I'm talking so much as a throw in, anytime the ball stops moving. Do we just look like we're there for the taking? Because it still feels like that to me, and I think teams know it too.
I don't know. Maybe not to me.
Okay. That's
maybe. I mean,
maybe I'm
not
seeing something that's
paranoia from having watched this team for the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, maybe not. I'll tell you this.
Trauma.
Maybe not trauma. More. Yeah, maybe not more than usual. You know, like maybe not like, oh my God, they've definitely got our number. If they can get a free kick, we can get scored on. Not like of old.
Okay.
I worry
not
more
in my opinion.
About throw-ins. Like the throw-ins are what make me paranoid. It's not the free kicks and it's not the corners. I think we're decent. It's the throw-ins.
Because they seem so innocuous that can be a moment where a team, not just us, any team, can switch off. It's why I would like us to hire a throw-in coach, or just place some more emphasis on that, because it is an opportunity.
Can we get Ben Tozer from Wrexham? Can we hire Ben Tozer from Wrexham? I would love to see him. Dude,
welcome to Atlanta.
The man can throw the ball from the midfield into goal. Like,
very
it's
impressive.
It's a real opportunity. It is a moment where the human brain just naturally just shuts down for a second. Oh, it's just a throw, and they have to get the ball in. Then we'll start playing soccer again.
Yeah, Brentford has an amazing.
Yeah, they have a really good long throw.
They've given him the throw-in specialist title, and I'm like, that's a thing now. And yes, it's very much a thing.
Should be.
I remember when I was a kid, I went to one of the U.S. matches. It was after the Olympics, and I think they were doing some sort of tour. And I remember that we had someone who would do the flip. Do you know what I'm talking about? The throw-in flip.
Oh yeah, from
where they So they you run up, you do a front flip where you actually are holding the ball. The ball is the only thing that touches the ground. You front flip, and as you flip up, you're throwing the ball in, and it goes like 30 yards or something.
Maybe we don't need to do that.
Very impressive.
If we
I'm just
do,
saying, I remember thinking how cool that was.
That's on
That's
Xande.
a throw-in
We got
specialist.
Xande. We got a flipper.
Yeah, he could do it.
He could do it, but mind those knees.
But that's a throw-in specialist. The fact that like people that some of these guys are getting up there now and they're able to really. I mean, it's practically a free kick.
It should be. I mean, I don't know what
being able to get it all the way into the box.
I don't know what the percentage is in stoppages of play, but I guarantee you, I feel pretty confident in saying that the amount of times the ball stops playing, like when we stop, is due to throw-ins. So that's a lot of opportunities. I'm not saying all of those are near the 18, but shoot, when they are.
Well, of course not. Yeah.
Well, let's do something with it. And we never have coach to coach. And, it's.
Well, so then So being prepared for them, that's another mentality that comes down to coaching.
Thing is like, hey guys, so
every time
still on,
treat it like a free kick. Yeah.
Don't let your mind, it's natural to switch off. Don't consciously think. That's a moment when you do want to think.
Yep.
Where you don't want to just, we flowing and we playing football and we ain't even thinking about it. Here I go. Take a moment. Oh, the ball's out. Like, tails up, eyes wide. Let's go.
All of this being said, and having gone through all of these takes now,
yes,
where do y'all sit on the Pineda out button?
The button is in reach.
Yeah,
like I can.
So we're talking about the nuclear button that has the key,
right?
Right. Have you turned the key?
No, I haven't turned the key, but
no.
I can reach it.
I've brought it. Here's the button.
Yeah.
Right. I've brought it and I've put it in front of me. I haven't lifted the glass and I haven't put the key in to turn it, but the button's sitting in front of me. And I'll tell you what, it's moving closer and closer to being directly in front of me.
I say that painfully, right?
I do too. I want it to work. I think he's a good
guy. I think he's actually a good player's coach. And I think whether his next job continues to be here or somewhere else, I think he's going to have some success. Probably even better for his experiences with us. We're probably good training for him.
We were his first head coaching position. Right. He's going to inevitably will have learned something from being there. From that,
if you want to look at my least favorite team as an example, and a very long tenured coach in one asshole Jim Curtin,
yes,
he had a lot of growing pains seasons 3 to 6. Mm-hmm. Where most of the Philly fan base was calling for his head.
Yeah, and they were crap for a while.
And they were crap for a long time.
Yeah.
Have we seen Pineda improve?
Now, granted, Philly didn't have the money that we have. Philly didn't have the roster that we have.
Very different teams.
Right? Very, very different teams.
Well, Glenn just posed that question.
That we can, I'm just,
But has he improved year to year?
Yeah, Glenn.
Okay, better example, Arteta at Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and how long were the Arsenal contingent calling for Arteta's head?
I know,
right.
a while.
And if they have another season, another crap season, they'll call for his head again. So Glenn's point though is he's now been here 2.5 years, or 2.5 seasons, 3 seasons, right? So 3.5 or 2.5.
He came in 21.
Yeah,
it's now 24.
Right.
So we're coming up on
2.5 years.
It's almost May. So it's basically 3 years.
So we had, how much more leeway are we getting? He had the injury ridden season. We had the half season. Now we have another. What are we even calling this right now? It's May.
It's like Tommy said that last week from Scarves and Spikes. He thinks May, big month for him.
Big month.
I tend to agree because we're already struggling with continuity, and if we make another big change at coach, that's more continuity problems. But if you're gonna do it and not just let him play out, which I don't think we would let him I don't think Garth would. I really don't. I think we would make the change. I think it's gonna be in June. Like if this continues, mediocrity, we drop more points at home.
Right.
Maybe a draw on the road. Like if we don't bank them. And really start making them up in May. May isn't excellent. Oh boy.
The reason why we're not winning is not because we don't have the talent, and it's not because we're bleeding goals. It's not because we are just so injury ridden that we can't field a team of decent players. I think the factors. I think the factors that he had both all the way up until last summer and his first season aren't there anymore. So we have to start looking when it comes to Pineda. We do have to start kind of looking at his coaching style. We really have to say,
we're not on
is he doing enough as a coach?
I wish I could point to exactly, what he was doing wrong, that the players aren't
that's why I said
whatever it is.
Not doing enough.
If it ain't working.
If it's not working, it's not working. Okay,
and he's got to do something different. That's the unfortunate job. He knows this as a coach. Every coach knows this.
In the immortal words of Justin Timberlake, it's gonna be May.
Mm-hmm.
We have 8 matches between May 4th and June 2nd, not including U.S. Open Cup.
Okay. How many wins
really
you want out of that?
a total of 8 league matches?
What do we got to get?
We have
how many? Hold on. How many matches?
We've got mini this week. We have DC United on the 11th. We have Cincy on the 15th. We have Nashville on the 18th. We have LAFC on the 25th. We have Inter Miami on the 29th, and we have, it is 7 matches.
7. Okay.
And we have Charlotte on the 2nd of
7
June.
matches, 21 points. What's he need?
In order for Pineda to keep his job, how many of those matches have to be wins, not
21
results?
points. What do you need?
3, at least.
3 points?
I think.
No,
I'm saying out of 21 points.
I know. I said wins. I know.
I think he's got.
I'm not looking at points. These have to be wins, man. These are not. I'm not just saying points. These have to be winning games.
Well, if you're gonna, you would get enough wins in my point tally, because I think he needs plus 15 or better.
I agree. I think 16 or better.
You want to say 16? Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of wins.
5 out of those 7 matches.
I look at those matches.
Well, then you're at 18, and that's phenomenal.
We have to win the home matches. We have to win against Charlotte. We have to win against Minnesota. We have to win against DC United.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, 15, then the draw 16.
We have to win against DC United. So that's 9 points right there.
Okay.
I don't know that if we go to Nashville, as not good as Nashville has been this season, and we can't pick up points on the road, I think that's a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have to do that because that's LAFC at home, which is going to be a very difficult match.
All right.
So right there, that's 12,
mm-hmm.
right? And then you got to have a gimme.
Yeah.
Something, maybe you get lucky, you get a draw against Miami. Maybe you get lucky, you get a draw against Cincinnati. But
14,
I think you've got to get at least 4. I think you got to get at least 12.4 wins out of those matches.
Okay. So we're in consensus saying 15, 16 points. And anything really less than that is just.
Well, I mean, I think
I'm not looking at
get
point
15
totals,
or 16
though.
points out of it.
Well, yeah,
I think
because if you want 15 to 16 points, you have to get wins. So by virtue of that.
I know, but
I think
that's
we got to
my point.
get 4 wins. I think we got to get 4 wins out of that stretch.
Saying. Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
4 wins.
Because people are starting because we got a point. We got a point at Chicago. It didn't feel like we won anything.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like
15,
you said, we didn't.
Points,
I know. Let me finish though.
Which
Let
means
me finish.
4
He's got to
wins.
get 4 wins.
I know that.
I'm saying the same thing you are, just in a different way.
No, you're not. You're talking. You're going on and on and on about points. Listen to what I'm saying. They need to be decided wins. They need to be wins. It's not about point totals. I get it. At the end of the season, it is. What I'm saying is that they need to be well orchestrated, well matched wins. Okay. They have to be wins. Points, draws are not good enough. It doesn't, right, I'm not saying out of the 7 matches, I think we have to have 3 very good looking wins for Pineda to keep his job.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about points,
but I said
because draws aren't going to be enough, whether they're points or not.
But I said the exact same thing.
You keep interrupting me.
Kat, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with you. We need 4 wins, because if he doesn't get a win on the road by the end of this stretch of matches, I don't know how the hell you keep him.
Right. Because
he hasn't won on the road.
I agree. No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
July of last year. Like, that's ridiculous.
Right. What I'm saying is that it's not going to be about points. It's got to be about the actual match. It's got to be about wins. We could have 7 draws, and you'll say, well, we didn't drop points. It's like, yeah, but they're just draws. We have to come out. It has to be about the performance. That's what I'm saying. I know how much I can do math. What I'm saying is that it has to be about the performance.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
That's different.
That's the win.
If you want to talk about the way we win,
about the performance.
If you want to talk about the way we win, that's different.
I am. I'm not talking about
we
points.
need at least 4 wins.
And they have to be major wins. They have to be. They have to matter.
And I'm saying we need 15 to 16 points, aka 4 wins. It's the same way. It's just saying it differently. Well, that's all. I don't care how the 16
points. You can get 15 or 16 points a lot of other ways.
I'm saying around 15 or 16 points. I'm saying around 15 to 16 points. We have 7 matches. Right. So if you got 7 wins and 3 draws, that's 15 points.
Okay.
Right? Same thing. It's the same thing. I won't accept anything less either. Like if we walk away with 11 points, that's like a couple wins and a couple draws, a bunch of losses. Like it's not going to be good enough. He's done this. He's put himself in this situation, and if I would be okay with seeing a change. I'd be okay with seeing a change come June. If it's not that, if it's not 4 wins, if it's not that.
And honestly, the reason I say this is like make or break time for Pineda is
has to be.
I think I said it last week. Like we've only got so much of a window with Thiago, right? Before we're going to lose him off into the ether. Where replacing a player of Thiago's caliber is just not going to be easy. They don't grow, who Messi calls the next Messi on trees. So, I think there is some onus on the front office at this point in time to win and win now.
Yeah.
And I think if we're not demonstrating that there is progress in that direction, I don't care how the hell we win these games. I'd actually like us. I mean, as much as my blood pressure doesn't like it, I want some ugly wins. I want this team to show me that they are capable of getting their hands dirty in the trenches and mastering the dark arts in a way to exploit the league and its weaknesses. It's not you don't win this league by playing a bunch of pretty fucking soccer.
I guess that's just kind of what I'm.
You win this league by being able to flay your skin off and keep going.
That's kind of what I'm saying too. Glenn, that's kind of what I'm saying about the difference between the mentality of points versus just calling something a win, because
you want the win. You want to go in. We're going for 3.
Win. Every time. I'm not even going for it. It's not even total.
It's about
it's not it's not about the points. It's win, win. And now is that time. Most of the time I get it. You can manage a table throughout a whole season. I'm saying for Pineda, you got to win now.
Yeah,
draws are not going to be good enough, and losses you're out for.
The locker room needs it.
The locker room, the fan base needs it. The front office.
Oh Lord,
the front office needs to see it. They need to see the wins on that column right now.
Yep, pressure's on.
They understand the math just like all of us do. You got to see some W's on the fucking screen. Yeah. It's about the wins. How amazing! How quickly can a club turn around when you string together a couple of wins, even in a month?
Less cake smashes.
It's got to be about the W's.
Yep. Less cakes in the face, more balls in the net. Yep, I hear you. All right. Anything else? We hit on everything.
Minnesota is not going to be an easy game.
Hey, it's not. If you're in the supporter section for Minnesota, please make sure you get there on time before the anthem. Also, if you haven't seen it on your friendly neighborhood Instagram or supporter group social media feed, there is a really, really cool May the 4th t-shirt design.
Yes.
I saw that. That's very cool.
The Gulch Fund, the Gulch Tifo Fund could really use your support. T-shirts are $30. There's a link on the Gulch socials. There's links to buy them on through all the SGs. And it's not, it does actually take money to put up Tifos and cool stuff in the supporter section. So please support your friendly neighborhood Tifo Fund. Yeah, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, cool. Go do the thing, guys. If you've got a
little
extra
housekeeping
cash,
I have this week.
It's a good way to support everything that the Gulch does, all the supporters groups do to keep this thing going at the tailgates, at the away match events, all the things. And you'll get a dope-ass shirt to go with it. So, cool. All right, y'all. Appreciate you listening. Thank you very much for continuing to support us. And Mason Mill, thank you for participating in the Fan TV Discord and for participating in our various social channels, leaving comments, takes, low keys, venting, little bit of clickbait from every now and then. We appreciate it all the interactions.
Hey, we have the new stickers, so come
yes,
find
and stickers.
us
Anytime you see one of us walking around,
yep, get stickers.
Come find us.
We'll actually have them on us now.
Yes, for sure.
So many stickers.
And pop over to Mason Mill, get an adjustment, and pick up a sticker there. They've got 2 different kinds over there, so check those out. All right, y'all. We will be back next week. I think the 5-a-side is going to largely fall by the wayside for a little bit. The month of May is very busy for all of us, work schedules. I'm getting married. That's happening.
And one of my favorite. Oh my gosh,
So,
you killed it. I was gonna totally drop you a great Muppet reference.
Oh, go ahead.
Somebody's getting married. Ding, 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 ding. Somebody's getting mad. Somebody's getting mad. Somebody.
Is that from the Muppets Take Manhattan?
It is.
Yay!
Where Kermit gets a concussion, coma, whatever, forgets who he is.
Yeah.
And then Piggy meets him in the diner and hits him and knocks himself back into himself.
Yes, and then she does the old switcheroo from Gonzo being the minister and getting an actual minister, so they really do get married at the end of that movie.
One of my favorite Muppet joints. I really like that one. Good reference.
I love
good reference. So anyhow, that's happening, and we're just all really busy with all of our work schedules. Jennifer's traveling a lot. Kat's going to be super slammed coming up working at CNN with everything that's going on globally, nationally, politically.
All of the above.
It's a busy time. So we will still be here for the 5 takes, but 5-a-side, that's going to be paused for a bit. We will still be covering the unified match. Very important to all of us. So look for that coming up soon. May
18th. May 18th. If you're headed to Nashville, and by the way, if you're headed to Nashville, the Unified Squad is playing post-match immediately following the first team match. So please make plans to stay and support our Unified Squad.
Very important, guys.
They would love, means a lot. Would love to see you out there.
And the club needs to see that it means a lot to all of us too, to keep this thing going, right? Like, it's important. It's really, really important. These kids,
it's all about equity. We should be supporting.
These kids deserve it. They deserve it. They are worthy of your time, money, energy, love, all of it. Stick around for that. And I'm telling you, you're going to see some high quality footy.
Yep.
You're going to see some high quality soccer. I promise you. I've been to a bunch of these now. You will be entertained. So please stick around and support that. All right, y'all. We will be back next week to talk about a win and 3 points for Minnesota. Until then, y'all be good. We will be back.
Meow, 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 meow.